Hi, we're here. Welcome to MomCave Live. We've got Valisa here from her bathroom once again.
Hi.
She's where on Mom's side. And our guest this week is Meg Zander. Hey, Meg.
Hi.
Hi. Megan's a hilarious writer. She writes for Mommyish and various other things around the web. And we thought we could talk this week about what happens when moms get sick. Yeah. Everybody just got quiet. They're like, what's happening?
Well, where do you start, right?
Yeah. It's bad. It's very bad.
Yeah, I mean, my kids are actually just getting over a cold that I got a touch of, and I don't know about you guys, but when I get sick, it's usually because my kids got it first.
Right.
So the whole house goes down, and it's really survival mode, isn't it? I mean, you're just doing what it takes to get to that bedtime at the end of the day.
As long as everyone is still alive at the end of the day, that's all you can hope for.
Yeah. Like my husband said to me the other day, he's like, have you had any vegetables? And I'm like, well, the Jell-O was green, so we're just gonna go with that. I mean, nothing else matters,
Totally. I mean, we all have little kids, on the younger side,
right.
So I think it's definitely harder. I'm sure when they're tweens and, you can just send them off to their iPads or whatever, but not so much when they're little.
There's no day off. You don't get sick days as a mom.
No. Have you seen those commercials for DayQuil and NyQuil where the moms and dads?
Those are great.
Yeah, you'll just see a mom and she's talking to the camera and she's like, so I'm gonna have to take a sick day, and then they pan over and she's talking to her kid. Yeah, there's no chance of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, back before when I had kids, I didn't like being sick, but I mean, sick days were kind of like a mini vacation, right? You had the house to yourself, you could eat what you want to eat, watch what you want to watch, you ordered some takeout. Now it's like they still want dinner, you don't get a break.
Yeah, it was like you would have to rest up to get better before you had kids. That was the whole point. Like, I need my rest, I'll watch TV, I'll nap, and then when you're the mom on duty, there is no resting.
Yeah. And I actually just wrote a piece for Mommyish about 6 ways a man with a cold is just like a toddler, because I don't know about you guys, but like the man cold, I mean, when my husband gets sick, it's a completely different story. It's like having another kid, and I'm congested myself. I'm trying to make sure they've got lunch and they've got what they need, their, stuffed animals and their toys, and he's on the couch like asking me to make him soup, and I'm like, what are you doing,
I know. It's so different, and it's so hard for me because mine is always acting like it's such a serious illness that he has to be shut away in the bedroom, and it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf. I'm like, it can't be this serious every time you're sick. It doesn't get to be that serious when we're sick.
Right. Yeah.
It's really different. I mean, were you ever like seriously ill and had to take care of the kids, like hospital sick, emergency room sick?
Well, I get migraines.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I have medication for those, but I've had a couple that are just like, you really just need dark and complete silence. And those are really tough because, I have 2-year-olds, they're toddlers, twin toddlers, so it's a lot of noise. So, it's anything you can do to keep them quiet. I mean, I know the APA says, no screen time before they're 2, but I'll put on, even if it's a 30-second clip that I know will keep them quiet, it's like, hey, where's that Mickey Mouse, over and over and over again, because it's just, you got to do what it takes to get through the day.
Yeah, I mean, it always comes down to the screen time when you really, that's like the last resort. And I feel guilty, but that's what you got to do. I don't know. What do people do before TV? How did they get their kids to be
I grew up on TV, and I'm fine. Like, TV was my babysitter.
Yes, that's what I tell myself to feel better, but it's the easiest thing. Like,
yeah. But it is different these days. I mean, the craziest things they can find on YouTube, we wouldn't be able to find when we were kids, back just having like 3 channels.
Yeah, we were pretty limited.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you ever think up elaborate games that you can play with them where it involves you lying down?
Oh, fetch. I know it's awful, but I'm like, hey, here's that ball, go get it. A big one. And, they love books, and I can just sit there because, little kid books, you memorize them, right? I mean, couldn't you just recite Goodnight Moon right now from memory? We all can. You have the 3 or 4 they love. So you just close your eyes, let them flip through, and sing it like a song.
I like to make believe that I'm a balance beam, and I'll lie face down on my bed and have them give me a massage by walking on me. Go walk on my legs and my thighs, lower back, my shoulder area, and they think it's fun, and I think it feels great.
Yeah, I mean, I just grasp at straws. The obvious is go, pretend that you're the doctor. They're the doctor for you, and that lasts for like 3 minutes maybe. And then the other, I've been sick a lot lately because of morning sickness, and so I was just laying there. The other day, I was like, let's play a game called Hats. Go around the house and find every hat we own, and that took him 2.5 minutes. Then we put them all on him, and that took another 1 minute. I mean, it's just like grasping at straws.
Yeah.
Yeah, these tiny little things, 1 minute, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, like how can you get through just to the next quarter of the hour, Yeah. And I like snacks that take a long time. I realize that for my kids, like, because they're young, so anything that requires them picking it up and eating it carefully, like craisins or goldfish, just take a long time eating snacks. You can, like, get a good 25 minutes out of that if you're lucky.
Elaborate snacking. That's a good strategy. And that's a great segue, because what happens to be our giveaway for this week is snacks from Happy Family. So we have, these take a long time, and these are healthy. So if you want to win a snack pack, we have a link under the video of where you can enter the giveaway. But, yeah. But sometimes when you're sick, there's nothing left in the house. So then, it's almost like you have to always be prepared with stuff in the house in case you get sick.
Yeah.
Go bag for sickness.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I
definitely.
always have, like, at least one thing of chicken soup and, I don't know, whatever, some snacks. Stuff that...
Gatorade.
Yeah.
Saltine crackers.
Yeah. Well, I've been having a lot of those lately.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been really hard to, for a long time, I wasn't telling my son that I was pregnant yet. I was waiting for the first trimester to be over. And that was hard because he didn't know why I was sick. So I think it's a little easier once they might understand why.
Yeah.
The mysterious throwing up was a little scary, I think.
Yeah. Well, and that's different, too, because he's healthy. At least, like, I feel like for me, when I've gotten sick and my kids have been sick at the same time, then at least they kind of want to cuddle and they want to slow down a little bit, and that's fun. But when he's high energy and still wants to go, 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 and you don't feel well, then it's even harder.
Yeah.
I know, it's the worst thing to admit, but when you're really sick, it's actually kind of better if your kid has a fever. Just lie there, because you can lie there,
Yeah.
It's terrible. We don't wish that upon our children, people of the internet. We're just saying it's easier. How is it with two? I mean, obviously it's harder, but do they entertain each other anymore?
They do. They're great playmates, and they're cute about things. Like, they just learned how to blow their noses, which is really helpful, just from a hygiene perspective. But it's also really cute because if one of them sneezes, the other one will run and bring a tissue over. So that's that's really sweet. Or one of my kids uses a binky. I know he's 2 with a binky. Sorry, internet. And so if he's crying, his brother will go and find it and bring it over to him. So that's sweet. Plus, I don't have to get off the couch, so I'll take that.
Right. Make them nurse each other.
Yeah, exactly.
That's okay. Mine's 4, and he still won't blow his nose. He just doesn't like blowing his nose. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Mine don't really do anything productive, but they just like the act of it, So there's tissues all over the house when they're sick.
That's good.
My 6-year-old is really good at blowing her nose, but my 4-year-old does not like blowing her nose, and she doesn't get the grasp of it, and I have to tell her blow every single time. Yeah.
So how do you arrange childcare? If you're sick, do you ever have to bring somebody in, or is it always just you?
My husband is a college professor, so it's really, really hard for him to take sick days because they don't have substitutes. So it really is like, unless I am, emergency room bound, it's just me. We don't live close to family, so we've been fortunate that they haven't gotten very sick very often. But when they do, survival mode. I mean, you're eating whatever's in the back of the pantry, and you know, it does. The bills aren't getting done. The laundry's not getting done. Everything's just on hold until you're able to function.
Yeah, I you know, growing up, I lived really close to family, so if my mom was sick, my grandmother would just come over, or an aunt or whatever.
Yeah.
And we don't have that option.
Yeah. I mean, I am lucky that with the internet now, there's FaceTime. So I am all about, you know, because they love to see themselves. They're little narcissists, my kids. So either I'll play the videos of themselves that I have from when they were younger, or, you know, let's call grandma, let's call your aunts, you know. So that helps a little bit. Just stick them on the relatives for a little while, and they'll sit there and ooh and ah themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you can use FaceTime as a babysitter. I do it all the time.
I'm sure that's what Apple intended, right?
Right.
Yeah, they really should market it that way. Valisa, have the girls been sick a lot this winter at all?
Thankfully, no. But today was the first time that I got a phone call from Zoe's school, from the school nurse, and she was in the nurse's office with a temperature of 101. And so I had to go get her, brought her to the doctor, and then the doctor took her temperature, and it rose up to 103. And so she was given some Motrin, and then I took her home, and she napped most of the day, and then she broke the fever. She's back to normal.
Good. Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Do you guys get, there's the feeling of dread, of course, when your kid is sick for them because you're worried about them, but then there's an extra layer of dread I get of like, oh crap, now I'm going to get sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And have, you know, that's a whole other ballgame.
Yeah. And I feel like I definitely make an effort to, you know, wash my hands more and not breathe on them. But then, of course, you know, we're at the dinner table and they want a bite of my pasta, and I'm like, oh, here, share my fork, and then it's all over, you know? No matter how hard you try, it's just the germs are everywhere.
They're everywhere. I mean, there's no way to guard against it with little kids.
Yeah.
It's too hard. I don't know. Well, here's hoping none of us get sick anytime soon.
Fingers crossed.
I know. We're almost out of time, but that was really fun talking. Where else can we see your writing, Meg?
You can see me, we do a syndication agreement with Scary Mommy, so I'm over there every now and then. I am in an anthology that's coming up by Lisa Nolan, Toddlers and Temper Tantrums. And I'm on Mommyish 7 days a week, so...
7 days a week. Wow.
7 days a week.
You're prolific. All right, well, everybody check out Meg on Mommyish. Enter to win some snacks. You can feed your children very, very slowly if you're sick. And some people are over tweeting on Twitter, so if you have any tips about what we should do next time we're deathly ill and got to take care of a kid, tweet us. Yay.
All right.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was fun.
Thank you so much for being here.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.